career and how you came to be a part of the Atlanta student movement or know about it. And
So how long an introductory statement do you want?
however long you want to go, sir.
Because, that was 52 years ago.
Yes, sir.
Amazing.
Yes. And then the first marker we're going to put up is the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC.
Sure.
We're going to put a marker in front of one of the offices that was their headquarters across from the Clark Atlanta.
Sure.
And if you want to talk about SNCC, if you were a member of SNCC, or if you had if you participated in anything that.
Well, our student organization was considered a chapter of SNCC. It was the Student Committee on Appeal for Human Rights. Yeah, that was, I believe, the name of our organization, and it was considered to be a part of SNCC. Yeah, and Julian Bond actually dropped out of school because I believe Julian would have graduated with me, but he sort of became full-time, working with SNCC, and I think his office was at a church down the street.
Yes, sir. And so anything you want to say, it could just be 1 minute or it could be 10 minutes. So if you have a great story about some of the accomplishments.
Oh, I have stories.
Then we'll talk about that. And then the efforts that the students made to desegregate municipal facilities, parks and recreations, and if you remember any specific marches or happenings, or the students going to jail or anything like that. Did you yourself go to jail?
5 times,
Oh, wow.
including prison, by the way. There were 5 of us who went to prison.
This is really
good. We had a big move on to fill the jails at one point. We really wanted to fill every jail cell in Atlanta. And Dr. King was involved with that, and he went to jail. So by the time my group, which was led by A.D. King, by the time that we got arrested, the jails were full, so they sent us to prison. So that's how it happened that I actually went to prison, along with A.D. and 3 other people. That was, I believe, 1962, I believe. I have trouble now remembering exactly when things, but I think it was 1962. That's when the Kennedys called to get Dr. King out of jail, and they let all of us out of jail when they let him out of jail. So that's what I remember. So I have stories about that too.
Okay, are we good with sound and visual? That's great. Okay, so do you want me to go through each of the markers first to kind of jog memory and give you an idea of what we're going to talk about, or you want to just go ahead and start?
Yeah, because I may not remember the markers as well. Obviously, I remember Riches, and I don't remember the name of one restaurant was Leb's, I believe. Then there was 2 other restaurants.
Auto House and Crystals.
See, but I remember Leb's because we put a lot of attention on Leb's. And I remember the Riches movement to get blacks hired at Riches since we were spending our money there. That may have been the first place that I got arrested, was at Riches. But
and in Pickrick's.
Yeah, that may have been where we got arrested and went to prison, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I just remember sitting at the counter, and the story around that, of course, is a Sprayberry story. You know that story? Yes, he sprayed us, and he got arrested, too. So he went to prison when we went. But when we got out, we asked that he be let out, too. That was the story. And on getting released, he pledged that he was never going to do anything like that again, and he was going to fight for civil rights. And,
Okay, and then another marker is the Pilgrimage for Democracy, which I understand SNCC led a massive assembly and rally at Hurt Park.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that. I remember the biggest march of students that we had was very successful. I believe there were almost 5,000 people in that march, but I can't remember names of parks and things like that anymore. But I think that was the one.
Okay. And we'll talk about the Atlanta Inquirer and how they came together. That was actually the students' newspaper.
Yeah.
Right? And the movement lawyers, Donald Lee Hollowell and Howard Moore Jr., the Freedom Riders. We're going to put one down where the bus terminal used to be, down near Andrew Young's statue now, and then the
And you know, it was my hometown. It's where they burned the bus.
Anniston.
Anniston is where I grew up. In fact, they just named a park for me.
Oh,
Yeah, a
wow.
wellness
Congratulations.
park, a health and wellness park in Anniston.
Very nice.
But that was where they burned the bus. Yeah.
Okay. And then I understand there were some sit-ins to desegregate Grady Memorial Hospital.
Yeah, I don't remember participating, but I think that's right. But Grady, that would have been the early 60s.
61.
So, yeah, and most hospitals in the South were segregated, and it was really, the big thing that integrated hospitals, of course, was Medicare and Medicaid. And when the legislation said that a hospital couldn't get those funds unless they integrated. And that meant letting black physicians practice in those hospitals, not just because they were taking black patients, even though they were segregating.
Okay. And were you at Warren Memorial when Dr. King when they had to call on Dr. King to calm the crowd because the students were upset that the merchants, the downtown Atlanta merchants, wanted you all to wait?
Oh, yeah,
to
sure. Oh, yeah.
integrate the lunch
Oh,
counts
yeah.
until after the schools were.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, there are a few situations I remember in which we were asked to wait when Leroy Johnson was running, and the people thought that if we kept the movement up, it may hurt his chances of winning. But we refused to stop, not being disrespectful of him, but we just didn't think there was a problem. But there was a division among the students about that.
Yes, sir.
About
were you
whether.
at that meeting?
I was there. I think that's when I was president of the student body at Morehouse.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right. So we want to talk a little bit about that because we're going to put one, if not in front of Warren Memorial, it'll be across where the current markers are now in front of Mount Moriah.
But there were a few times in which people tried to get the students to either slow down or not to do something we wanted to do. But I think it was all in good spirit. I don't think we ever disagreed about the goal. We just disagreed sometimes about how to achieve it.
And then Rush Memorial, I understand, was very supportive of the students. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Offering meeting space.
yeah, that's where we used to practice how to fall downstairs if you got pushed and all that kind of stuff. I remember, yeah. But the pastor of Rush was from Anniston, I believe, at that time. He had pastored a church in Anniston and then moved to Atlanta. So he was very supportive of it.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, well, let's go ahead with the introduction, your introduction of yourself, where you're from, and how you came to Atlanta, and
Okay.
your history, your past.
Okay. Well, my name is David Satcher, and I am the founder and director of the Satcher Health Leadership Institute here at the Morehouse School of Medicine. And I attended Morehouse College from 1959 to 1963 as a pre-med student. And I left Morehouse to go to Case Western as an MD PhD student. I was here during the heart of the student movement. I became involved in the fall of 1960, I think my sophomore year. And I remember specifically that at that time, the leaders were Lonnie King, Marion Wright Ellerman, who now has Children's Defense Fund, and Otis Moss, who went on to become